Welcome to our YouTube channel once again. This is Emerson Kwenje from Top Research Center. Today we are on lecture number 3. Our main focus today is to look at data manipulation in SPSS. We want to look at data manipulation in SPSS. As a statistician, you will encounter several situations in which you will be required to manipulate your data set in order to perform certain analysis. Therefore, it is a very important skill to have. To begin with, I want to look at the basic reasons behind data manipulation. Why do we manipulate data sets? You find that there are two main reasons. Which one would want to manipulate data set? One, if you want to change the existing variable to a new variable. If you intend to change your variable, an existing variable in a data set, to a new variable, you have to do what we call data manipulation. So how do you do this? There are two ways you can manipulate your data set. One, through recoding. In SPSS, there is a recoding function which you can utilize in order to change the existing variable to a new variable. Or you can use the computing function in the software, which you can also use to manipulate your data set. The second reason why one would want to manipulate the data set is if you intend to analyze part of the data set at a given time. You can also manipulate your data set. How do you do this? There are two functions which you can utilize in this sort of software in order to only analyze part of the data set, such as the split file function in SPSS can help you to manipulate part of the data set at a given time. Or you can use the select cases function, which is also very important when you want to select particular cases and analyze those particular cases, only leaving out some of the cases at a given time. So these are the methods which you can use to manipulate data. There are some ways you can also further manipulate your data, but these 4 are the main methods which you can use to manipulate data. However, although we have these 4 methods of manipulating data, I would want to look at recoding only for today. So my main focus today is to look at how we record data in SPSS, and I will look at other methods in my subsequent lectures. So I want to look at recoding, but I want also to know reasons which can lead a statistician to decide that I have to record some of the variables within the dataset. One of the reasons behind this is to change a variable with a lot of values, for example, a scale variable to a new variable with smaller number of groups. E.g., we have age, you can change it into age groups. So that's the first. Or sometimes you would want to combine small groups. Let's say you have done your survey, and when you are doing your survey, you have come up with different groups, but when you are about to do your analysis, you realize some of the groups which are related, you have very small numbers. So you can suggest to combine those small groups so that they can be one group. Because in most cases, small groups cause problems in data analysis. So if you combine, it will simplify the analysis of your data. So in that case, you have to also record that particular variable. The third scenario is that you will be dealing with scale items. And if you realize that the scale items you have in the dataset are negatively weighted and they need to be reversed. To do that, you also perform recoding. So these are some of the reasons why a statistician would decide to record his or her variables. So now I want to show you step-by-step method of recoding in SPSS. You find that when you open your SPSS, you have to go where it says transform on the main menu and then record. Then you go into different variables. In most cases, it is encouraged that you record your variables in different variables so that you can retain the original variable in the data set. So that is the usually norm, that you have to code a variable in different variable. Now let me show you the appearance of the dialog box which appears when you click record into different variable. So if you click the transform and then code into different variable, the following dialog box appears. A dialog box which looks like this will appear, showing a list of variables to the left, and then we have this center part, and then this far section of the dialog box. So we have to select the variable you want to record. For example, age. If you highlight age and then click this arrow, age will move to the center. And as soon as age moves to the center of the dialog box, you find that this part of the dialog box becomes live, where it says name and label and change. You find that this is where you are going to write your new variable name. You can write the label, or you can leave it. It doesn't matter. The most important that you have to label or to have your new variable name in this section. When you have that, you click change and you will find that the new variable name and the variable you want to change will appear in the center here. So you need to give your variable name, as I have already said, and then click change. So you find that it could be like this, where we have age and then age group, meaning to say the variable age is changed to, has been transformed to age groups, which is the new variable, and it will look like this. As I did here, you find that I created a new name, which is age, I put in the label, but the label, even if you leave it, it doesn't matter. And if you click change here, you find that this appears. This is how it appears. And when you have done that, you have to let SPSS know how you want the old values to appear in the new variable. To click here, this part of and a second dialog box will appear. You find that you now must tell the computer how you would like the values of the old variable to be treated so as to produce the new variable. Go to old and new values. That is where I was showing you. Here you click here, and in order to let the computer know how you want the old value appear in the new variable. So a dialog box like this will come up. This is the second dialog box which pops up when you click where it says old and new value and new values. So this is where now you are going to transform the old variable into a new variable and assign respective values. Then you find that at last, it is often useful to tick the all other values and copy old values. This will ensure that previously defined missing values are included in the new variable. You find that you have to click this part of the dialog box where it says all other values, and then you also click here where it says copy old values before continuing, and then you click continue and then OK. You find that when you click continue, it will take you back to the original dialog box, the first dialog box which appears when you click record to different variable, and then you click OK. When you click OK in that box, you find that your variable will appear in the last column of the data set. So now I want to open my dataset in SPSS and show you all these stages and how you do it. Here I am. I have opened my dataset. I have these variables. The last variable, as you can see, is add on age. It's the name of the variable. So you find that after recoding, our new variable will appear below this last variable. I want to show you how we record using the variable age. But before I perform the recording process, I have to check the nature of the variable. I can do that by going here at where it says analyze descriptive statistics. I can even just check the frequency, and I click age and move it to the center here and check here my stats. I want, yes, it's already marked. I have already marked, ticked the maximum and the minimum. I want to see the maximum value and the minimum value so that I can decide on the groups which I want to come up with. So if I click OK, this comes up. It shows that there are 8,492 valid values and then 12 missing. The minimum age shown here is 49, the maximum is 80. So if I further scrutinize my my output here, you find that it shows that there are about 329 participants who are less than 50 years. And if I go further here, there's about 626 who are above 80, and the total number is 8,504. So when you are coming up with groups, you find that you have to have a theoretical basis in your mind why you are dividing your values or your age groups like that. In this case, I just want to assume that we have, in most countries, you find that those people who are working, they work up to 65 years of age. So those who are 66 and above would be pensioners. So what I'm going to do is I want to divide it into 3 groups. Those who are less than 50 but still in the working age group, and those who are 50 to 65 whom I consider to be in the working age group, and then those who are 66 and above. 66 and above. So my first group will consist of those who are 49 and below. The second group will be 50 and 65. The third group will consist of pensioners who are 66 and above, because in most countries, when you are above 65 years, you will be a pensioner. So after checking my data like this, I can now go where it says transform, and then there's recode into same variable, but it is encouraged that you recode into different variable. So I click here, you find that this dialog box pops up. As you can see, these are the labels. If I want to see the variable names, you can right click and then click where it says display variable names. If I click there, you find my variables are here, and then I highlight age, move it to the center, and you find that this part of the dialog box is now live. If I can now decide what name am I going to give to my variable. In this case, I want to say just age group. Age groups. That's the name of my variable in this case. I can add the label, but it doesn't matter. Then I click change. You find that it shows that the new variable has been created. And then we move on to where it says old and new values. If I click there, you find that this dialog box, the second dialog box, pops up. My first group, I said it will show those who are less than 49. So if I got where it says range lowest through value, if I put enter here, I enter 49. This is my first group. So I assign a 1 and press add. You find that I have my first group here, old to new, and then first group. Second group, I said it's 50 to 65. It's better to use where it says range here. So if I say 50 to 65, then will be my second group. So it will be 2 and I add. So I have 2 groups now created. The last one, find that range value through highest. If I click here, you find that I said 66 and upwards. So I click enter 3. This is my third group, and then I enter. So I have all my 3 groups in this dialog box. And if I click, I have to click here where it says all other values, and then where it says copy old values, and then add, then continue. So I am now back to the first dialog box which popped up when I clicked record to different. Then you click OK. If I were to go to my dataset, you can see now I have a new variable. So I can now enter the values here. If I click here, if you remember, I did this in my first lecture. If I put a 1 here, and we know that 1 is those who are less than 49, less than 49 or equal to 49. So those who are less than or equal to 49 years. Are in my first group. Then second group are those who are 50 to 65. Then third group are those who are greater or equal to 66. This is my third group, and I add, and I click OK. So after doing this, you can click save here. If you click here, it means the variable has been saved. And to check if it is correct, I click analyze again, and I can go to frequency, and instead of having this, I can check my new variable, which is age groups. I move it to the center, then I click OK. You find that this is the new variable. Those who are less or equal to 49 are 329 in this case. And if I go back, you find that they were 329 here again. So it's the same. If I check the missing, in this case at 12, if I go here again, the missing at 12, the total number is 8,504. The total number is 8,504. So it shows that we have done our recoding accurately. And this is how you do recoding in SPSS. I hope this will help some of you who are new to SPSS. Thank you for watching. Please share, subscribe, and comment. If you have any question, you can contact me on our Facebook page, Twitter page, or you can contact us through our contact form on our website, topresearchcenter.com. Thank you for watching. See you in the next lesson.